Hello citizens, it's Manchester City versus Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League first knockout stage, and of course we're basically already through. I'd be absolutely amazed if we didn't go through. I mean, we beat them 5-0 at their ground, a good goal by Bernardo Silva, he could have had a hat-trick, a wonder goal by Sterling. Sees us through, really, basically. I mean, we're not going to see a completely weakened team, we will see some changes though, because we just played United in the Premier League over the weekend, a wonderful 4-1 win, I was there. Hail to anyone else who was there. In that first half, United put up a decent fight, and I'd say the counter-attack really hurt us on a couple of occasions, and they could have gone in at half-time 2-2, but in the second half, we just kept the ball away from them. United completely gave up. We absolutely dominated them. Of course, you've seen a lot of things saying embarrassing, shameful, and all that, but it's also hard to say whether we were so good or United was so bad. Probably a bit of both. I mean, we did play really well. I thought Bruyne in particular was phenomenal. He was world class on Sunday. He was unplayable. Every time he got the ball, he'd just turn with it straight away and just run at the heart of the United defence, and they had no idea what to do. He went left, he went right, just carried on going. Wonderful performance from him. Foden as well. I think it was his best performance in the number 9 role. The way he bullied Wan-Bissaka off the ball as well in the second half. That was a beautiful thing to watch. Grealish, I mean, arguably it could have been Grealish's best performance. I can't think of one he's had better than that. He didn't get a goal, but the left-hand side, him, Bernardo and Foden worked really, really well together. Cancelo had a decent game too. I mean, defensively, I still have a few questions about him, but attacking-wise, against United, he did okay. Probably held on the ball a bit too long. He sometimes thinks himself as a left winger rather than a left back. I thought Mahrez was quiet in the first half. Didn't see much of him. We mainly attacked down the left, but when he came to life in the second half, he got his 2 goals, and a wonderful goal on the edge of the box as well. Of course, it came off Maguire, which probably helped to take it past De Gea, but you know, it was a good finish, and the second one was a good finish as well. Hit De Gea in the face, top corner, beautiful. So yeah, it was a great performance all around, and I thought Stones and Laporte did okay in the centre defence because they had Pogba and Fernandes playing their number 9 and number 10 roles. You know, they kind of went 4-2-4 United, and it suited them in the first half, but in the second half when we got to grips with the formation, I said we just kept the ball away from them. Now, of course, one of the things that you'll hear about a lot with City, especially with United fans, you know, a little bit of bitterness creeping in, is about all the money we've spent and that we've got two 11s. We can fill 2 teams of world-class 11s, which of course is not true, and it's a video I want to do at some point as well, but I'll just briefly go through it here. I mean, that United bench, we had McAtee, Delap, and we had Mbete on that bench. And of course, we've got Scott Carson, goalkeeper. You know, we've got Zinchenko, who, I mean, what is his best role? We don't even know. We play him a left back, but for his country, he plays left midfield. We've also got, who else on the bench? We had Sterling on the bench, and we had Gundogan. You know, and you hear all the time these world class, you know, we got 2 teams of 11 and all that, and you know, Pep can call on any number of players, but it's not true. We just got a lot of players who can play in different roles. We got Foden who can play in 3, 4, 5 roles. You know, he'll play anywhere in the front 3. He'll drop back in De Bruyne's role. He'll play on Bernardo's role. Bernardo as well. He'll play anywhere in the top 3, and he'll drop back into his usual. De Bruyne, he's played at false number 9 for. He played centre attacking field. He drops a little bit deeper. Rodri's played centre half. Fernandinho as well. Cancelo, who'll play right, left, he'll go up a little bit, stay back. You know, we've got these players who play in different roles. We haven't got 2 teams of 11. And with Diaz out and Aki out, of course, it limits our options a little bit. I think in this game he would have probably played Palmer as well, but he's still injured, I think. So even though we've not got them to 11s, we are going to change things up. I'd expect Zinchenko to come in at left back. Walker's obviously suspended, so Cancelo's going to go right back, and it's a shame we're not giving him a break as well because we've got a tough game over the weekend. Because for me, I think it's the league that matters. I'd rather us win the league than the Champions League. But we're going to have Cancelo right back more than likely. You know, we'll have Zinchenko left back, and midfield. De Bruyne's probably going to come out because I think De Bruyne's 1 booking away from a ban in Europe. So Gundogan's going to take his place. I don't think you can drop Foden. Sterling's probably going to come in, maybe for Mahrez. Grealish, I'd expect to stay in because I think he did well against United. And I think another strong performance against Sporting, even though we're already 5-0 up and the pressure's off and it won't really mean much. I think it'd do him world of good, and I think it'd do fans good to see him have a good performance as well. And possibly Jesus comes in. Maybe Jesus come in, so maybe Foden will drop out, I don't know. But I'd expect maybe Foden to drop back into into Bernardo's role, take Bernardo off, or Jesus in that number 9 role. That's what I'd say with the formation. Of course, Fernandinho is well more likely to come in for Rodri, because we need him going into the rest of the Premier League. And that's it, really. So like I said, we've not got 2 teams of 11. We've got a team of 11 and then a lot of players who can play multiple roles. And that's one of the beauties about City as well. This is one of the things that goes underrated. You know, in that United game, everyone's talking about how bad United were. A few have said how good we are, but it's kind of in passing. And when they have said how good we are, it's like, oh, well, you know, we've assembled this squad of world-class talent, which we have. But the work rate from these City players off the ball, there was one point, I think Match of the Day was the ones that highlighted it, when we lost the ball, and I think Sancho was running on the left wing with it, and 8 City players got back to stop him. 8 players. You don't see that with many teams. You'll see it with a few, but not many. And I think that just goes to show how much the team want it and how much the team want to win and how hard they try. And I can never fault the team for trying. You know, I can never fault them for effort, because they always give 100%, which is more than what the other team did on Sunday, isn't it? But I can never fault them for effort. So when we go into these games and we're already 5-0 up, are we going to take our foot off the gas? No, we're not. We're still going to play the same way. We're still going to try and dominate the ball. We're still going to be running back and tracking back and, you know, getting 4 or 5 bodies in the way of the ball. We're still going to do all that. So even though the tie is effectively over, I'm still expecting a City win. I'm going to go with like maybe 3-0, 3-1, because maybe Sporting will come out strong at the beginning, see what they can get, see if they can get an early goal. Because if they get an early goal, maybe they'll try and push on, and you never know, maybe it's 2-0 and they're like, ooh, you know, it can get a little bit spicy in the second half. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think if they do get a goal, I think we'll just turn it up, because that's the thing as well. City have always got this extra gear, haven't they? They've always got this way of playing. When United scored that equaliser of Sancho, we just turned it up again, and we got another one. Yeah, I did a bit sloppy goals, but we've always got that gear. In the second half, we could have gone on, we could have got 6, we could have got 7. Same at Old Trafford, we could have smashed them more than 2. We just didn't want to. We were just like, we're going to keep the ball. You know, you're rubbish. And I think that's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll probably just smother the Sporting, keep the ball away from them, and just demoralise them. Then next thing you know, it's going to be half time and game's over. And tie's over. And that's how I see it going. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, you know, City are playing well, aren't they? I think all the players coming into form at the right time. I did a video a couple of weeks ago where I said Sterling was back in form at the right time, you know, but he's having strange with Sterling, because he does well, but the next game he won't. I mean, his confidence is all over the place, I think. Same with Mahrez. I think them two, maybe it's because they're getting swapped out in quite a lot, you know, they don't play every game like they were doing last season or the season before. They are getting swapped in and out quite a bit. And that's going to affect you, of course, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons why Grealish hasn't been this world beater that people thought he would be for 100 million. Getting swapped in and out a lot, you know. He's in a team of quality talent now. So he's playing one game, getting dropped the next. And, you know, it affects your form. It does. The only players really that's keeping their place consistently is Foden and Bernardo. And obviously De Bruyne when he's fit. And to be fair, I think they're our 3 best players this season. I really do. I think Foden's been incredible. De Bruyne as well, since Christmas he's been wonderful, and Bernardo all season, of course. I mean, can you imagine if we'd sold Bernardo in the summer, if we'd actually swapped him for someone? That would have been a crime, that. He's back to his best. And, you know, another video I want to do at some point as well is that De Bruyne, the amount of times I've heard De Bruyne compared to Fernandes, and of course it's mostly United fans, and they're going, oh, you know, Fernandes is better than De Bruyne because of this stat and that stat. But Fernandes is a proper stat booster, isn't it? I mean, he does these assists and these goals against these crap teams, and then in the big games he just disappears. He's nowhere to be seen. And De Bruyne, he's the one that steps up in every game. And the thing about De Bruyne is, when you're wondering if he's a good player or not, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe, you know, he's not had many assists this season, he's not had many goals. But what you got to remember about De Bruyne is, if you're just watching the highlights of a game, or you're watching the TV or something like that, you're only going to see him with these little moments, these little pockets, you know, where he passes the ball through, doesn't quite work out. Or maybe you'll see it on Match of the Day or something, he'll pass the ball through, make this wonderful pass, really run onto it and miss the chance, and he doesn't get an assist. But you don't see him run the game. When you're in these matches and you're watching at the stadium, he runs every single game. And I had this conversation in the derby with my dad, funny enough. He was going on about how De Bruyne's, you know, not that good. And he was saying this in the second half when we were 4-1 up, and I was like, what are you talking about? You know, because he wanted to give the man of the match to Who did he want to give it to? I think he wanted to give it Bernardo. And I was like, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't give Bernardo. And he's like, well, De Bruyne just scored 2 goals. And I was like, he hasn't just scored 2 goals. He carries the ball. He dominates that midfield. And he's always on it. He's always pushing the team forward. He's a proper leader, De Bruyne. And that's why he had the armband on Sunday. You know, he wouldn't have had it, I don't think, if Diaz was fit. But he had the armband and he acted like it too. You know, he's very aggressive. He's just pushing forward all the time. He wants to run with the ball. He's never short of confidence. You know, and that epitomizes a lot of the players for me, because Foden's pretty much the same. Bernardo too. I think Grealish is going to be like that eventually too. I mean, he was a leader at Villa. He can be a leader with us next season onward. Diaz, he's like that. Stones could have been like that, I think, if he wasn't for all of his injuries. I think he might have been a long-term captain for us. You know, Rodri as well, he's taking up Fernandinho. Look at Fernandinho's role in the club now. He's pretty much just a leader, not really a player for us. So, yeah, you got all these leaders, and that's the beauty of this team. You know, I think it's a wonderful time to be a City fan. And like I said, even if we don't win the league, I think we can be proud of what we've done, because we've not had a striker. You know, in moments we've struggled sometimes this season with scoring goals and things, but we've given it a really good go. And, you know, I'm happy about that. And I'm happy with the team, because we don't have these, you know, these leaks, these players, you know, this news coming out from players not liking the manager and players falling out with other players. We don't have any of that. And that's just the beauty of this club. Just how well we run, just the personality within the dressing room. Everyone's together. Everyone's just working for the same goal. They're not working for themselves. And I think that's why we find ourselves at the top of the league, and that's why we find ourselves so far ahead of United. And that's why, you know, we always do these deep runs in the Champions League. Yeah, we don't win it, but not for lack of trying, is it? And yeah, that's it. That's my match preview. I kind of went on a little bit run away from the match. Like I said, I do want to do a video at some point this week on, you know, De Bruyne and, you know, the lack of 2-11s that people go on about with our team, but I'll do that later on. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out. Honestly, leave a comment on the video. I do try and respond to them all. I think I actually do respond to them all. I kind of just ignore the haters and the United fans that drop in every now and then. I just let them go. Anyone that talks nonsense, I just ignore it. I think that's the best way. And yeah, thanks for watching. And yeah, make sure to leave a like on the video and hit subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate you being here. I really, really do. And join me tomorrow for the watch along. I will be doing a watch along for the Sporting game tomorrow night. Make sure to join for that. And we can just talk football, because like I said, I don't think the game's going to be too exciting. So come in and let me know how you've seen the season gone so far. Let me know how your football management saves have been going, because I've been playing Football Manager recently and just signed Haaland and Mbappe. I've got Mbappe on the right and Haaland through the middle, and I tell you what, ridiculous. So yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for checking out as always, and